teach English in South Korea. My wife and I just got back from a week of vacation, so we have no food in the house. So come with me. So quick phone change. There was something weird going on with my mic, but we're headed to the market. I'm gonna put my Instagram handle up here, and I'm gonna put a question box right here so you can ask me all those great questions. This is one of our local markets. Traditional South Korean breakfast is more like a soup. So we tend to go a little bit maybe more American style for breakfast. We'll eat some good Korean food later. Just grab some Korean frosted. All right, so we're awake, we've had breakfast, we're getting back into the daily school routine. This is my wife, Allison.
Hello.
And we are in Gumi, South Korea. We work at a private academy. I'm excited for all the new folks watching. We've gotten a lot of questions already. That's fantastic. We'll start answering those. We did do a takeover a couple months ago, and I put the link to that in my bio so that we'll try and answer different questions this time.
For any of the ladies who are watching, if you have any female-specific questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that on my personal account, or maybe Ben will put a special
question box right here.
Okay.
So we just got back from vacation, like I said, and we actually traveled within South Korea to Jeju Island for a week. It was fantastic. A question was, how much vacation do you get? Usually about 2 weeks and all of the national holidays. Some folks were wondering about weekend travel. 100% possible. We've seen so much of Korea either through public transit or bikes or motorcycles, and we've been able to jump out to other countries as well. Stop by our local coffee shop, grab some lattes. Allison, take away the question.
Okay, so private or public school, really no matter where you teach in Korea, whether it's Seoul or a more rural area, it's totally up to you and what makes the most sense for you.
So both are great, and we've just found that the hours of private school, so we teach in the afternoons, is better for us so that we get to explore more of Korea in the mornings. Did you feel comfortable teaching grammar concepts? Well, for us, we don't actually teach grammar. We teach listening, reading, and writing classes. All within that, a little bit of grammar, but nothing you shouldn't be able to handle.
If you feel like you've gotten a little rusty on your grammar, don't worry. TEFL does a great job of kind of a crash course of things that you'll need to know and feel confident in.
So I used to be a full-time photographer before I came here and started teaching. The question is, do I also work as a photographer here? Short answer, no. They do not allow you to have a supplementary source of income with the E2 visa, but being a ITA ambassador, a photo ambassador, and also volunteering, I was able to keep my photo skills sharp while also working on some personal projects in an area of the world that I may have never been to.
Do I know of any dance classes like ballet? There are so many academies for different activities like ballet, dance. You just might have a better chance finding those in English in a larger city. So we were able to find a yoga class through our gym, which was really great. It was not in English, but we have a little yoga experience, so we didn't have any problems following along with the other students in the class. We did get our TEFL certificate online, and we started applying for jobs before we finished, but maybe all in all, once we started applying and went through the interview process, I would say less than a month.
Definitely less than a month. I mean, we both had jobs in the U.S. before moving to Korea, so we needed to make sure that the timing worked out between quitting our U.S. jobs and getting Korean jobs. So in order for that to go kind of flawlessly, we applied while we were already in classes.
For me personally, since we live in a smaller city of about 500,000 people, there are not so many English speakers here, so I wish I would have learned a bit more Korean before moving here.
I'll definitely piggyback on that with Allison. I wish we had learned more Korean. I think we kind of started to crunch right before we left, but being here just made a lot more sense. Learning just a little bit of reading and speaking, learning a little bit more speaking and reading will help you kind of transition so smoothly. In our city, there aren't a lot of English speakers, so we really had to step up our Korean really fast if we wanted to get anything done. But we also could rely on some folks at our school and great teachers to help us out when we ran into something that we couldn't speak Korean about. But
I will say, traveling to bigger cities, we did not run into this problem. There are much more English speakers in Seoul. And
here's your Korean crash course.
the most useful phrase I've learned is 괜찮아요. It means it's okay. Also, you can phrase it as a question like, 괜찮아요? Are you okay? Is it okay?
Korean lesson part 2.
It's so important in Korea, if you like chicken, to know how to say boneless, and you would say 순살 is no bones in your chicken.
Allison does not like bone-in chicken, so that was a big one for her to learn. Korean lesson part 3. A lot of people might ask you if you speak Korean, so you might hear some variation of 한국말, which means do you speak Korean? And you can say 아니요, which is no, or you can say 조금, which is a little bit, which is what we. So with varying degrees of success, if you need a little Korean to like jolt your students into listening to you, you can say ya, which is like the informal version of hey you, or you can say hajima, which is don't do that.
Okay, where do we complete our 20-hour practicum? The city we lived in before we moved to Korea had a university that offered ESL classes, so we were able to volunteer there, and they were super open to letting us help out.
Yeah, we also looked at doing it at. Our practicum at some local elementary schools, but they just needed some paperwork that we couldn't fill out on time. So volunteering at a local university is usually pretty easy. So speaking of housing, this is where we live. It's got a great Korean place on the bottom, also a chicken delivery place. It was provided the night that we came in, partially because they were going from 2 single teachers to a married couple, so they had to get. So they were going from 2 single teachers to a married couple teacher with just changes from a 1-bedroom apartment to we have a 2-bedroom apartment. And it should be in your contract. Just check and make sure. They might put you in a hotel a night or 2 before. So Thursday is our market day. It looks like some of the vendors are gone, probably because of the heat. But we'll usually come here and grab some snacks, grab some fruit, grab some lunch, and then have a little picnic. So this is our market, and it goes all the way down the street. And 3rd floor is our academy, and this is our little picnic. A little pavilion like this, great for naps. Just remember to take off your shoes. Allison, what do we have here?
We have some grapes. We have some dumplings. In Korea, they call these mandu.
Fresh. So good. And so these are triangle gimbops. You can get them at your convenience store, as opposed to the rolled gimbap. But these are just a quick option and very popular. They cost $1, but Allison is going to show us how to open them. 3-step process.
Okay. 1, we go down and around. Then 2, slide out. Then number 3. Oh, so you take it apart in order because it keeps the seaweed separate so it doesn't get soggy. Now we can eat it.
So inside the gimbap we have rice and meat, but you can get it with many things. Inside the mandu, the dumplings, you can have kimchi and usually some noodles and vegetables. And in other ones, these are pork. Korea has a nationally sponsored healthcare system. You pay a little bit from your paycheck every month, but it's not very much at all. And your employer and the state kicks in the rest. Both of us have had the flu, and so we've used our insurance for that, and just normal seasonal colds. And but everything has been extraordinarily inexpensive and very easy. Speaking of healthcare and costs and things like that, I'll give you a quick rundown of our monthly income and expenses. So basically we each make about $2,000 a month. So that number is after taxes, after insurance, and after pension, because we pay in for our pension. From that, because we have no housing expenses and minimal electricity bills, we tend to save half of that for travel or for the future. So with half of our combined income, $2,000, set aside for the future and future travel, we take the remaining $2,000 and spend half of that, $1,000, on immediate travel. So the remaining $1,000 is what we actually spend every month. We tithe first, and then we do groceries and clothes and fun, anything that is not out of the city travel. Well, the cost of living isn't that different between the US and South Korea. Some things are definitely cheaper, but the great part is it's easy to prioritize with a lot of your big bills being taken care of by your employer. Basically, we're living on about $600 a month and living comfortable, eating out a lot, having fun, taking trips, and it's pretty easy to do. So we started our day around 2 p.m., went to work, taught 6 classes, and ended our day around 8:15, and are just walking home. We're headed to go get some Korean barbecue and show you how delicious that is. We got a few more questions that we need to answer. We'll do that at the restaurant. And also, if you haven't asked a question and you want to, I'll put another box here and we'll answer those as well. So this is Korean barbecue. You got a lot of banchan, which are free side dishes. Bean sprouts, egg, pasta, fish, cucumbers, onions, salad. And you have your sam, which is your leaf wraps. Allison is going to tell you how to make the perfect samgip wrap. So you dip the meat in sauce and you put it on the lettuce. Add a little kimchi. She adds a little onion, a little garlic, and then kind of wrap it all up in a messy wrap, and you have to pop the whole thing in your mouth.